rescue. You gotta come up to Three! Hurry up! Oh, buddy! Come on!
Thanks to our sponsor, Durkin Tactical, your AR-15 superstore. You can find out more at durkintactical.com.
Folks, this show is sponsored by 1776 Insurance. We're talking about comprehensive firearms collection coverage. That also includes your accessories as well as knives. If you've got questions or you want to learn more, please visit 1776insurance.com.
Hello, fellow miscreants, ne'er-do-wells, and dissidents. Hanging out with Bear at an undisclosed location, training hard and sweating hard. We're talking about moving a casualty off the X and TCCC. So
Correct.
I guess maybe start off with unpacking that acronym.
So TCCC is Tactical Combat Casualty Care. 20 years of lessons learned from combat in the GWAT. Basically use the 75th Ranger Regiment as like a petri dish to figure all this stuff out. And it comes down to three phases: Tactical Combat Casualty Care, which for civilians has been adapted to Tactical Emergency Casualty Care. Both of which tactical meaning like, hey, bad things are happening here. Right?
Tactical being of and pertaining to tactics.
Yeah, that would be a good assumption. So there's three phases in TCCC. The first is care under fire, okay? And then the next is tactical field care. And the last is CASEVAC or medevac. And there's a difference between the two. So I'll discuss that briefly. Care under fire, that's self-aid. Like you did, you put a tourniquet on your leg, correct?
Yes.
Care under fire, what happens during care under fire, our first priority is to F the effing effers, aka establish firepower superiority. Okay? Overwhelming volume of fire. That's right. Make the bad guys stop doing bad guy stuff. Okay? Preferably by leaking all of their hydraulic fluid out, but whatever.
Room temperature challenge, etc.
Yes, precisely. So while that's happening, while we're establishing fire superiority, you're going to render self-aid. That's the only medicine we do on the X is apply a tourniquet. That's it, okay? Because we need to get as many guns back into the fight or keep as many guns into the fight as we can. That's care under fire, okay? That's a hot zone. The next we take that hot zone to a warm zone because of our overwhelming volume of fire, okay? Now we get you off the X. This is called tactical field care. At this point, we start doing buddy aid, meaning if you had more injuries, more extraneous wounds, all of that, Twitch or Phelps or Preacher or whoever, will start laying hands on you, putting you back together, rip the aid bag open. This is what we do in a warm zone, the tactical field care phase. Simultaneously, we're calling it in. Something bad has happened here. We don't want to stay here. We're either going to bring more people in to secure this area, or we are going to GTFO, get off the X, because the statistical chance of bad things happening here is greater than zero.
Well, like bad things happened here.
Exactly.
That means they could happen.
They may still be happening here, right? And so that's an important point with the warm zone, is that with the warm zone, we've taken the initiative here.
Yeah.
But bad stuff could continue to happen.
Sure. But the critical thing is, we're not in the place that bad stuff definitely did happen.
Correct. We go from hot to warm. But the bad guys probably have buddies too.
Yeah.
Right? They could be calling for backup as well. And so tactical field care only happens in a warm zone while we simultaneously call in backup. And this is the third phase, which is CASEVAC or medevac.
And that's taking into account what, if the bad guy's properly trained, what he's going to do. He inflicted some casualties. What does he want to do? Mm-hmm. He wants to roll over us.
That's
right?
Exactly right.
He wants to roll over and secure that objective, and we have to make him not do that.
Yeah, if you have a really good plan, make sure you brief the enemy as well.
Right?
Because they get a say.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but they get a say. Yeah. So in CASEVAC/medevac, the difference is a CASEVAC is a means to move the casualty from the X, where the bad stuff happened, to a higher level of care that does not have a medical professional involved. It could be a side-by-side, it could be a pickup truck, it could be whatever it might be, the minivan. Okay?
But we're moving from warm, relatively unsafe, to relatively safer.
Correct, a cold zone or a cool zone at that point. And that's important to understand. In order for CASEVAC or medevac to happen, it can't be a hot zone. It's got to be at a minimum a warm zone, okay? Which comes back to firepower superiority. And so there's a window of opportunity there where we need to get the casualty off the X, Casovac or Medevac. And so a Casovac doesn't have a medical professional with it as we convey the casualty to a higher level of care. Versus a Medevac, which does have a medical professional, somebody who knows more than us, is going to start running IVs, administering pain meds, antibiotics, taking vitals, all of that, that moves with the patient from where the bad stuff happens to the higher level of care. That's a Medevac.
A corpsman,
Exactly.
an EMT, a paramedic,
Quad
an
0,
ambulance.
68 whiskey,
Yep.
exactly. EMT, exactly. And so that's TCCC in a nutshell. Okay, so hot zone, care under fire, bad people are shooting at us. Step
Care under
one,
fire, self-aid.
correct. F the effing effers, right? Fire superiority while we apply tourniquets. So we go from a hot zone to a warm zone. Then in a warm zone, tactical field care. Now we're doing buddy aid. Aid bags are getting ripped open. We're applying chest seals. We're checking for a patent airway. We're looking for signs of life, so forth
Looking
and
for
so
all
on.
those other wounds that the casualty didn't even know about when he was rendering self-aid.
Exactly. Right. You might have got a tourniquet on your leg, but you've also been hitting the arm and you don't even know it because bullets are flying, adrenaline's up, it's freaking loud, right? So forth and so on.
Banged my head on the way to the warm zone.
Right. We're on our way to the warm zone. We're also doing, hopefully at this point in the lull in the fire, we're doing an ACE report. All right. So ammo, casualties, equipment, or LACE, I believe they call it now, liquid ammo casualties equipment. So is everybody up? No, we're not up. Andrew's down. Okay, let's fix Andrew, right? While we're calling that in, we're getting on the radio, we're getting on the cell phone, whatever, so we can go to the third phase, which is Casovac or Medevac, to get you to somebody who knows how to put you back together again. We kept you alive by the grace of the Father and our training to this point. Now we need to get you to a surgeon, probably, right? And so that's TCCC in a nutshell. And it goes way faster than you think it's going to go.
Indeed. This sort of this sort of stuff that we're doing today is my favorite. I love making the pews. I love running around and getting the hands on because you learn how to do a task and you repeat it a few times and you feel like you're fairly comfortable with it, but you're not anywhere near there until you've done it many times under stress.
Correct.
They say that amateurs train until they get it right and professionals train until they can't get it wrong.
Right.
And I appreciate you guys giving me the opportunity to make some pews and teach me some stuff. Every moment that I'm here, I'm gaining a lot of knowledge.
That's awesome, man.
It's fun and it's fulfilling. You guys are doing the Lord's work. And I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I appreciate Durkin Tactical for making this series possible. They're a sponsor, and I appreciate you guys for watching. Otherwise, there'd be no point to doing this. I love you.